Hello students, today we are going to start the chapter 1 of class 11 biology. The first chapter is the living organism or the living world. In this chapter we will study about what is living, diversity in the living world, taxonomic categories and taxonomical aids. So in this case, first of all, whenever we are discussing about living world, what we think about that? Those organisms which can move, which can grow, which can reproduce, or which can make the type of their own more organisms like that, they come under the category of living. We can say that. But actually, according to scientific way, how we can tell about the living organisms? So let's start with the chapter 1, living world. First of all, living organisms. Living organisms are those organisms which can show these things: grow, reproduce, show metabolism, cellular level of organization, and consciousness. So, first of all, we are going to discuss about grow. That is growth. How do they grow? Whenever we are discussing about growth, it is not like increase in size only, or increase in mass, or increase in the number of particles. Whenever the growth is included, for example, we take the example of any kind of we can say growth of a plant or an animal or any non-living thing, also like a heap of sand also keep on accumulating. Whenever a river is coming from upside down, it brings lot of particles along with it, and they get accumulated on the floor, they also increase. So if we are talking about river, then that sand is also getting accumulated, and it is increasing day by day, but that doesn't mean that it is living. So what are the things that we can consider under the growth? They are increase in mass and increase in number of organisms or individuals are the basic characteristics of growth. So let's move further. For example, an organism starts growing in the life, and at a point it stops at a certain age. For example, as in case of human beings, we grow, we keep on growing from childhood to adulthood, and then our growth stops. We do not increase our height. That is there. That kind of growth is there. It is limited. It is controlled by certain things. So that growth we are going to consider under the living organisms. So firstly, growth that is controlled and it can be seen. So there are certain times, certain events in which these growths take place. For example, unicellular organisms, they grow by cell division also. They increase their number. Okay. And sometimes when we get hurt, we get any kind of cut or something like that. So what happens over there? New cells come and they also grow. It means whenever we are getting any kind of wound or any kind of damage in the tissue or cell, new cells are also formed. And that is also a part of growth. Then is reproduction. In our lower classes, we have discussed about the binary fission, we have discussed about the sexual reproduction, we have discussed about the asexual reproduction. They all come under the reproduction. Means living organisms reproduce. And it doesn't mean that any kind of path they can follow. Not only one path is, we can say, fixed. Every path they can follow. They can go for asexual reproduction, they can go for sexual reproduction, they can go for any kind of binary fission, multiple fission. So for example, in case of planaria, we see flat form is there. So in that case, regeneration is there. Whenever the organism is cut into two parts, the separate two parts, they also grow. We have seen all that things. Then comes the metabolism. Metabolism include all those chemical reactions that take place inside our body. Either they are creating, or they are using energy, or they are simply saving the energy. Okay, so there are two types of metabolism, that is one which uses the energy, and one is that saves the energy. Yeah. So, in case of non-living organisms, they do not show any kind of metabolism. First of all, okay, they don't show any metabolism. Even the plant, animals, fungus, and microbes, they show metabolism properly. You can see their body changes, their reactions are occurring, and they are digesting their food. They are using the energy, or they are saving the energy in the form of starch, also, as in case of plants, and mainly many other organisms also. So non-living organisms, they do not show the metabolism. Then is cellular organization. This is absent in the non-living things. Cellular organization, it simply means how the cells are arranged. The organism can be single celled, the organism can be multi-celled. For example, amoeba, paramecium, they all are the single celled organisms. And when we talk about the multi-cell, for example, human beings are there. Okay, they all are the living organisms. They are multicellular also. Next thing is that consciousness. Being aware about the environment, or being aware about what is going on in the surroundings. Have you noticed that when we put light on cockroach, it moves away from it? It means cockroach is aware of nature. It is clear that the light is there. Cockroach is aware about light, that I have to go away from the light. Similarly, if we have any other organism also, cockroach is very simple one. And when we talk about dog or cat, they clearly indicate whatever is going on in the surroundings, and they can understand that also. Okay, so in that case, we can see there are many changes. So consciousness is being aware of surroundings. The living organisms are properly conscious.